Good afternoon, all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday afternoon, August 18th. We're looking at window traders market profile of the ES and NQ. So the smallest range of the year in SPY and ES. Horrible volume. We had a perfect POC for 11 time frames, but then we end up with 11. Nobody had the opening in ES or NQ till M period, right? I want 2 time frames in a row. It didn't happen to L and M. So ES ends with an 11 wide point of control. I'm calling them down. I had called them balanced still after Friday, but today we took out Friday's low. No big deal. You want to call a 4-day balance, you can. I'm calling them down for now. It's your preference. The more important thing is, no matter how much these bulls, people are on them for not getting distance, we've spent the last 4 days in the upper distribution from Tuesday or higher. So the bulls might not be going anywhere, but guess what? The bears are nowhere in sight to push. That's for sure, right? NQ goes out with a 10 wide POC. That's it. We did not get an overnight in ES for the 10th time this year. Righty goes out with a perfect POC for the 5th time this year and 2nd time this month, and an afternoon pullback in G. There, in balance for 4 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, today. I don't expect much tomorrow either. There's nothing out tomorrow, right? You have Fed minutes on Wednesday. I think the big thing they're waiting for is Jackson Hole to get some sort of semblance of, is this guy going to cut rates next month or not? Really, that's what I think this market. And the sad thing is, who cares? Who cares? They put too much emphasis on this garbage with rate cuts and stuff. Really. It's so ridiculous, it's not even funny. I had an okay day today. I started off A period good with some good longs to go get the perfect POC from Friday and some ebb and flow, but then gave it all back and a little more when it pulled back in A period. I actually took the short to get the overnight low, but I got in too late and ended up losing money on it. So at the end of A period, I was down about 8 points. But I got it all back and more. B period, I got the long to get A's high. C period, I got the short to get the IB low. So I did okay. I was up about 35 points in my personal account. Nothing crazy. And then I shut it down because nothing was happening. You can sense nothing was happening. I had a good F period. I took a long to stop the one-time framing down in NQ. And then I took a short thinking it could be an afternoon rally high. Now, it turned out not to be, but I still did okay. But then this is my last trade of the day, ES. I didn't think we'd keep going back and forth through the open. I thought we had good odds with the value and the IB low to get the overnight low. I started a short, added to it, was taken off, adding to it. I ended up losing 15 points. Nothing drastic, because obviously it just started going back up and never went for the overnight low. And then that was it. The rest of this afternoon to me was just absolute garbage. So I lost in one of the prop accounts, but did okay in my personal. Look, it's the last 2 weeks prior to Labor Day. Now, a lot of schools are back in the South and I think maybe out Midwest and stuff, but the Northeast does not go back until the day after Labor Day, or the week of Labor Day. So these are big vacations weeks. When I was working on the trading floor, I always took the week going into Labor Day off. So we're going to have to deal with this at least until probably maybe we get something out of Jackson Hole later in the week. And then just chart-wise, again, the volume, horrible. 42 million shares, way under average. Here's your daily. Again, the monthly and weekly are up. Look, I have no problem if you want to call this a 4-day balance. I just figured I was going to call them down after taking out Friday's low once again. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. Hope you had a good day trading. Enjoy your evening. We'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.